Hey, good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to be going over the seller's indicator, how to use it, how to get it, and why I feel it is basically the second most important indicator you can have on your 1 and 5 minute charts. It's a must go to. Make sure you check out on my channel my perfect 1 minute setup and my perfect 5 minute setup. I go into a lot of detail and analysis about how to use all the different indicators that are available on the DTS, the Day Traders for Success, which is right over here. So I created this indicator here. And I'm going to show you, before I even go any further, I'm just going to show you what it looks like, the programming. So if you open up your beaker, you're going to see all the things that you programmed into your charts, right? So if you go on this line, once you import it and you right click, well, there it is, right click and go to Edit Sources, you're going to see Day Traders for Success. This is what I put in, and this is basically the script, and it's pretty simple, and it's an adapted script. So it seems like everything has been done before, but I adapted it a certain way and put it in a certain way so that we could use this. Now, at first, it wasn't taken too seriously by my team. And then when I finished it and we beta tested it for a couple of months, everybody was wicked psyched about how it really helped their trading. Like about 5% collectively, our averages went up, which is a huge deal for professional traders. If you can increase your accuracy by 5%, that's huge. But it takes a little while to get to use it. And I know you see me, if you watch any of the challenges, I have a 5-tape video set about low share size challenge using this and many other indicators, and then another 5 video set of high share size challenge using this. But inside there you'll see other indicators, but because it's a challenge and I'm so restricted to only 20 minutes to make this much money in this amount of time, this is my go-to. I'm going to have my support and resistance lines, my EMAs, my VWAP. I'm going to have stuff up here that I'm using, of course. But if I had, the only other indicator that I really have time to focus in on, even almost above chart patterns, is this. So we are volume and price traders through many, many years, and we all love scalping, and we love the speed and the adrenaline of doing it. It's basically my history is massive adrenaline. That's a lifestyle that I led early on. So this kind of trading is what I want to do. I have a passion for it. Now, it doesn't mean I don't swing trade, I don't trend trade, I have other platforms, and but this is it. So why is this so useful, and why is it something that we use as our team? So again, I'm going to go over what this is. So the blue candle is representing the volume. This is it down here on the bottom, by the way. This is the 1 minute chart up here. And then the red line represents just the sellers. So that red line, just the sellers. So if you've traded with volume at all, and I'm sure I'm talking to some very good traders, professional traders, I'm hoping some of them are coming to our channel as well. In fact, I know they are because I'm getting feedback. You know that you learn to read the volume. And I have another video that's for the volume profile that's put out for Thinkorswim. So just so you know, everything on our channel is for Thinkorswim platform. TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. I trade on other platforms. I do not have a channel for Lightspeed. I do not have a channel for E-Trade, and so on. I have a channel that's focusing on teaching for free everything we teach. We will not be ever charging for courses or anything like that. For free, I have a channel that's for Thinkorswim. That was a lot of questions I had. Where do I get, what platform is this? So, but anyway, so you learn to, over time, to read volume and price. Volume and price. You'll get the price off your level 2. And again, look at that perfect 1 minute setup, and you'll see me use all these things or talk about how I use them. And then you can get your volume down here on these indicators here. And then, a lot of people can read. If you get good at reading level 2, the prices, you can imagine in your mind the pattern of the candles. It really, over time, that really happens by just watching the price. As you get dialed in on something, it really happens. Well, the same thing can happen with the volume. If you get dialed in on the volume, the way that the candles are moving up and down, and then within them, the sellers, how they moved up and down. Now, It's not an oracle. It's not telling you the future. This just happened. I know that. We all know that, right? It's just a different way of reading it that's so clear cut, right? As it goes on. So you're seeing this candle go up and down right here, and this is it reflecting down here, right? So it's kind of undecided. So it's right in the middle of the candle because it's undecided. It's sort of dojing, right? And then it ended up being more buyer strong. Now, again, the new candle starts, right? And the sellers are a little lower on that candle. So it's buyer strong. So if I just looked here and didn't even look at the candles, I could take a trade long just by looking at this, not even looking up. You might think that's really risky, but it's basically telling me this in a different way. And at the same time, it's giving me more information than what this can give me, right? Because now it's telling me volume and sentiment of the candle. So when you get used to seeing that, your eyes start to go down here more than up here. So can these same patterns, whether they, whatever they might be, head and shoulders or bull flags or whatever, like here's a bull flag right here, can these be told right here? Yes, they can. They can be told right here. It takes a while. It takes a while to read this, right? But it adds a lot to scalping. It adds a lot to day trading. But it takes a while to get to use it. So you don't want to just jump in and not be on a sim. Remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you advice on how to trade. Seek somebody that you trust. Trade in a sim for a long time and be green. And then when you jump out of that sim, I highly recommend you only trade about 25% of the value we're trading in the sim. And that's because of the whole thing that you can't get over that it's real money. You think you got it all figured out. There's so many people that tell me, and I was the same way. It's like, I can't believe it. I made $5,000 in the sim, and all I do is lose money when I go live. It's like, yeah, because you're not trading the way you traded in the sim. It's not the sim, okay? It's you. I'm sorry to say it, hardcore. It happens to all of us, right? We can't get over. So, my advice to that, and I know I'm going way beyond the seller's indicators here, but my advice, you can speed right to the end to get how to get this if you want. But my advice to you as a trader, new trader, medium, beginner or in the middle or wherever you are, you have to decide the amount that's too much for you. You have to decide that in your head, and then you make a trading plan and you say, I am not going to exceed this in my mental stop loss. It was another question I had recently, like, how can you not have a stop loss? Well, you can't really have a stop loss scalping. You can only have a mental stop loss, right? It happens so fast. And also, guys, if you're not used to scalping, stop losses get jumped right over. You think you're safe, but you're not safe with a stop loss. Not when you have a momentum trading. It can just go right over your stop loss. So I wouldn't set a stop loss on a high volume stock and just walk away and go, oh, I'm cool. It might work. I mean, most of the time it does, but no, it's not a sure thing. So how do you get around that? You do mental stop losses, right? I'm prepared to lose this much money. And you might get caught in a flush. You might get caught in a spike. And you get, it's not good. It's sad, but it can happen. And that's what happens in trading. But setting that price that you can afford to lose, and then that's going to tell you what your share size should be, right? Then you're going to figure out your share size, and you're going to get that in a trading plan. You're going to use your logbook. You're going to keep track of things either on TraderView or your logbook, or both would be ideally. So I'm going a little further here, but my channel's grown recently, and I got a lot of questions, so I'm trying to cover them a bit in this. And most of them were about this because you guys saw me using it. So if you're not on my channel yet, you should be. Please do. It is a teaching channel. We will never be charging for anything, right? So that was another thing somebody said. Oh, why would you, if you're so successful, why would you not? Why would you even need to do YouTube or whatever? It's like, why not? I'm a teacher. I taught math. I mean, why wouldn't I pay it forward? Why wouldn't I teach? It's a passion. I'm excited about teaching. I love the fact that somebody might actually utilize this and do well. Do you think, does everything have to be cynical, guys? No, it's not. Most people aren't really like that. Most people want to help other people. I'm definitely one of those people, but I was warned I would get comments like that. I'm fine. They're in a certain place in their life and that's how they see things. And I get it. I totally get it. But no, it's not. Not everything in the world has to be about that. And anyway, right? Aren't I? If I'm getting a big kick out of helping people, it's like, whoa! I guess that's what I'm doing then. I'm actually feeding me. I'm getting. That's how I'm getting my things. Is that terrible? I guess so. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. I had to get that out. Sorry. So anyway, so on the seller's indicator, learning how to use and read both of these patterns, the volume and the sellers, you can actually really fine hone your skills. And like on our team, when we beta tested it, it wasn't taken all that seriously. And then everybody's accuracy increased like 5% when they started, because they already had the skills to read and they just applied it to this. So very quickly, all their accuracy went up. And that kind of a difference in accuracy, my accuracy runs at about 85% on average. I mean, that kind of a difference is tens of thousands of dollars. So that's why this is such a great indicator, and why I am sold behind it 110%, that if you take the time to study it and use it, you're going to see patterns here, just like you see patterns here, and then they're going to back things up for you. Now, again, I want to point out, use your other indicators as well. It's a collective, right? It's not just one thing. But if you get paralyzed by indecision, right, then you don't make your move. So eventually you're going to come down to 2 or 3 indicators that you're just going back and forth with your eyes. I mean, that's why I said in one of my other videos, try to keep, I have 8 screens, but I keep everything I need right in front of me for scalping. I only look left or right for more long-term decisions on things, or just to hold information, or how I start my day. But everything should be in front of you for scalping, right? Everything you need should be right in front of you. So, and then you want to use everything. I mean, I have a 5-minute chart. Again, look at the perfect 5-minute setup, the perfect 1-minute setup. Some people just don't have the constitution to do 1 minute, and I totally get that. It's just too fast. Try the 10-second on light speed sometime. But anyway, so they only want to trade 5 minutes. And you'll see that I set the grid up on my 1 minutes so that I know when the 5 minutes is about to open or close. So I can it helps me make my decision, because I know there's a whole bunch of people that only trade on 5 minutes, right? So you can get paralyzed by looking at too much stuff. So you're going to want to find what you like. But if you're intrigued by this, I find it to be very, very helpful. So now at the bottom of this video, under where it says show more, there's going to be a URL that you can highlight and the steps that you take. And then there's going to be directions on steps that you should take to get it import it into your Thinkorswim, right? And basically what that is you're going to highlight it, and then you're going to go into your Thinkorswim, and you're going to go, let's see how it says it here exactly, is press Control-C to copy your URL. So to get it on your clipboard. So you want to get it on your clipboard. So you want to press Control-C. I'm going to read the directions right here. Open your Thinkorswim platform, left click on the setup gear wheel, which is at the top right corner, which is right up here, the setup gear wheel. And then when you click on that, you click open the open shared item on here. So this will open up to open shared item. And then a box will open that says share item URL, and then you press Control-V. Control-V. I don't know if my words are Control-V as in Victor, and then that will import it in. Then you're going to want to left-click the preview. You can name your study. If you don't want to name it Seller's Indicator, you can name it whatever you want, and then it's going to end up being in here, right? So then you would type in, like on my Day Traders for Success. So these are all my custom scripts that I've done and modified, and there's the seller's indicator right down there. Now, most of these are available with a video or available on a layout that I have already, that I'm letting you import the whole layout. But if you ever have any trouble, I always recommend putting the scripts in first and then import the whole layout, and then it populates so nicely inside there. But if you have any trouble, then go back to the directions that are on one single one, and it should come right in. So, and then once you get it in, you want to, it will work as long as it's on a chart. So make sure you've got it as part of the chart inside here on your chart, right? So if you have it on a completely separate thing, what it won't do is it won't scroll along like this, this chart will stay one way and this will just start to just go off the screen. But if you have it on a chart, it's going to scroll along. And this is the crisper, cleaner, better scripted one so you definitely want to get the new one if you already have one. It's going to work better for you. So there was a little bit of delay and a little bit of glitching. I think that's been programmed out of it. And it's really fast. I mean, some of the guys still claim that you can see here faster than you see here. And, that's probably not true, but you never know. I mean, because Thinkorswim, if you watch my video on how to speed up lag on Thinkorswim, I talk about how they reconcile things. I mean, things within their platform reconcile a different way. So it's very possible, I'm not saying it outright, that this is a slightly hair quicker than here. And a lot of the guys swear by it. But I don't know if it's discernible enough to make a difference when you're taking a scalp. But yeah, so that's how it works. That's how you get it. I talked a little bit more about other things, but that's how I use it. I am looking at these two things, and you will see it in my challenges and in my live trading, how I use it. So guys, I hope that was all helpful. If you haven't subscribed on my channel, remember, I'm going to keep putting out videos that everything is free, right? So you're not going to see me charge for classes. We have that logbook coming out soon, which we're excited about, we will make like $1 on after printing costs and Amazon taking their 60%. But I highly recommend it. So I'll have a link for that. I'll make a video about it and have a link for that because it'll have a lot of how we trade prior to the RV strategy, which is the new strategy that the Million Dollar Margin Club pioneered that I founded. And that is really taking over because we're having such luck with it. I don't know if it's timeless, but right now it's been many months and we're consistently successful. So I suggest watching that at least on the small share size, the RV challenge on the small share size. Not everybody can trade with up to $1 million in margin. So go for the small share size and you can make up to 10 to 20K a month following the strategy, but practice in a sim. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know if I've said that. I'm not a financial advisor. I've been warned to say this more and more now as more people come to our channel. I cannot advise you on how to trade. You should get somebody you trust. You should trade in a sim. And then because when you trade in a sim, you think you're all good to go when you're green for a couple of months. Remember that you cut your share down to like 25% when you go live. And I can't remember if I've said this already, but you can be a complete failure live when you're total success in the sim. It happens to everybody, so don't freak out. It happens to everybody. Don't beat yourself up too much, right, guys? Because up here we have a number that we can't. It's too much. So then fear creeps into our trading, and then we don't make the same trading decisions that we made on the sim. I don't think I know a trader that never happened to. So, you may see me trade. It looks like I have nerves of steel, but inside is a scared little boy, just like everybody else or girl if you're not a boy. But anyway, so yeah, no, it happens to all of us. So, but what it comes down to is what you can afford to lose will make you trade with a little bit more confidence. So if you can trust in your confidence level, and I'm going to talk about some books that I highly recommend about that. Look at how this seller's indicator is going straight up, right, as this goes straight down. So it's telling you massive volume. This is a strong move down. This would absolutely get me to go short. I would go short, no problem. I don't need to see the price. I don't need to see any. I would just go short. And then as it started to, this started to drop down to buyers, then I would get out. So that's why this is, it's almost like you don't. I know a couple traders that don't look. They only look at charts. They look at this price and charts, and that's how they trade. That's it, and they're successful. So, find your little niche. But anyway, that I was starting to say, and then I'm going to stop rambling on. But figure out how much you're okay with losing real money. Base your trading strategy on what you can lose, your risk management. And then you'll probably trade the way you were trading in a sim. And then you probably won't lose. You'll probably trade successfully. But if you go in just thinking you're going to win with the same share amount that you were trading in a sim, and it's not the same that you can lose, it's not going to work. I mean, it will not work. It's just that simple. I'm going to say that definitively. So maybe you're the one person just jumped right in and it was just like, no problem. I went from sim to live and I'm a millionaire, I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't. Give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate your help to the channel. I kind of consider everybody like a family, and I'll see you with the next video. Thanks.